Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum friends. I hope you all are well and enjoying learning linguistics with ya. Today we are going to talk about what is discourse analysis and the difference between spoken and written discourse. But before moving to the lecture, I would like to request you, please like, share and subscribe Linguistics with Tia in order to get notification of all new videos from this channel. So let's have a look on the first slide of this lecture. What is discourse? Discourse is the study of language beyond and above the level of sentence. Or you can say, discourse is the way of communicating your message, your feelings, your idea via language. But it doesn't depend entirely on the words and the language. But the context is the main and the focus point for studying language. So the word discourse is derived from the Latin word which means to run away. And the discourse is the transfer of information from sender to receiver, the tools of words and sentences, but keeping in the mind the contextual purpose of the utterances. So the segments of the words, those are the phrases and the combination of words. So these words are combined and connected to make a complete sentence is the main point while studying discourse. Some important examples are the form of discourse are letters, jokes, speeches, lectures, sermons, diaries, and stories. These are all the form of discourse. Have a look on what is discourse analysis. First of all, you must keep in your mind that discourse is study of language, are the way of communicating your ideas via words and sentences. But discourse analysis is an approach to study the use of language. It doesn't depend entirely on words and sentences, but the context. So, discloses the context of the use of language and the situations where the language is used are the utterances, are the fragments of the sentences. For example, if your friend asks you to go for riding, as you can see in the picture, and you simply say, amazing idea, but no, nothing. You are not answering the question. As you can say, it can be many situations like you have phone calls or you are busy in your routine matters, so you don't like to go for riding. So the question arises, why do we study discourse and what does the discourse analyst do? Discourse analysts study only actual utterances and the real world communication to figure out the structure of the utterances. By studying structure, an analyst tries to know the representation or the purpose of the real world communication or the purpose of using language in any situation like formal and informal. Why some sentences you can use in the formal setting, not the informal one. So the representation of the real word and the intentional meaning of the communication, those meanings doesn't depend on dictionary meanings, but what is the basic intention? What does talk about two types of discourse. First one is written discourse and the second one is spoken or oral discourse. Important types of written discourse are you can say the categories of written discourse are description, narration, expository, and arguments. So written discourse entirely depends on the written form of the language. It can be newspaper, book, magazine, letters, etc. Second form of discourse is spoken or oral discourse. In spoken discourse, speaker sends information via words and this discourse is the outcome of the speaker's lecture, conversation and presentation as well as the interviews. So whatever you say with your words by using your vocal organs via language, via words is spoken discourse. Let's summarize this lecture, but before moving to this, I would like to tell you that you can get complete transcript of this lecture in the form of blog and link is given in the description section. Discourse is the single word or the stretch of word to convey linguistic communication, or you can say it can be a complete sentence. Discourse analyst studies the hidden meanings and the organization of the text by keeping in view the context. And broadly, the discourse can be divided into two parts, or it has two categories. written and spoken form of communication or discourse. Written discourse, writer and readers both have certain skills. And for spoken discourse,